So it has been another little bit crazy week at work. And as I'm recording this, we are about to head into Lilo and Stitch premiering. So excited about that. So this is one of those occasions where I don't have anything planned for this this intro part that I kind of usually do. This week's movie is not like a lot of the other stuff on this channel. We are branching out into something new. And all I have to say is I hope that you really like Buddy Holly.
It's a Friday once again.
Hello my fellow freaks and welcome back to the channel. I hope you have all had a great week. Mine has been so busy. As I said, we are doing something a little bit different this week, and it's because this isn't a horror movie. Now, I of course have posted pretty much only horror movies since I've done this channel, and horror movies are just like my top of all time genre. They're what I like the most. They're probably what I'm going to cover the most, but I don't think it hurts to branch out, you know, every now and then, because there are other genres that I do really enjoy. And this week's film, I feel like, was a very perfect fit for something that's not horror, but still a little bit obscure, niche, has a cult following behind it, but again, is not horror. It's instead like kind of dark sci-fi, fantasy, dystopian, and it is also a viewer suggestion. So thank you very much, Nihilistic Whim, for recommending this movie in my comments. I, for this week, was going through a whole list of some recommendations that I had from you guys, and I showed my manager at work my list, and this is the one that he pointed out as being a really awesome movie, and that kind of sold like that I would do it, especially after he made me read like a brief synopsis of it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I think we're gonna do things different. I think I'm gonna choose this one. And that movie is Six String Samurai from 1998, directed by Lance Mangia? I mean, that's Mangia, right? I am wrong. I wrote his name wrong. I wrote his fucking name wrong in my notes. Okay? I wrote M-A-N, not M-U-N, because I'm stupid. And if I have not said it already, thank you. Thank you very much, Nihilistic Whim, for this recommendation, because oh my god. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I'm so happy that this movie has entered my life. And like I said, I do think this is a really perfect fit for like the channel. It fits the kind of weird, unique, and creative concepts, ideas, and narratives that I typically fall in love with. So just thank you. Now, I am super excited. You know what I just realized? I've gone through this entire intro and we don't have any background music. Excuse me. I forgot what I was saying, but I'm very excited to go over this movie with you guys, and if you haven't heard of it before, maybe give you some insight of what it's about. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I am also giving my strong recommendation of this movie. So if you would like to hear why, stick around. But first, if you are new here, hi, my name is STARGUTZZZ. Any like loud noises or crashing, if you see like the camera shake even, that's my cats. And also my reviews tend to be more of like a discussion of elements that are good or bad about a movie, rather than just giving you this like rundown play-by-play of everything that happens in it. So in other words, I do refrain from spoilers as much as possible. However, they will arise if they pertain to the discussion that I'm having with the film, or like any important parts that I think are prominent enough to discuss. If you would like to watch Six String Samurai before the rest of this review, you can actually do it here on YouTube for free. It seems like the production company behind it, Palm Productions, has actually uploaded Six String Samurai to their channel for anyone to watch for free, and I will put that link in the description. I'll also probably have a card up if I'm able to do that with like other people's videos, but if not, links in the description so you can easily access this film and watch it for free. Thank you, by the way, so much to Palm Pictures for having this film accessible for free. I think that's awesome, because this is such, oh god, this is like such a chef kiss movie. I love that you guys have put this on YouTube so anyone can access it and watch it, because it is, oh god. I don't want to say it yet. Let's just get into the review. After losing a nuclear war with Russia, a desolate America gets overrun by mutants, cannibals, Soviets, and rock and roll music. The ruler of them all is Elvis Presley, in the haven of Lost Vegas. But when the king dies, all other rockers make the journey to take his throne, including our hero, Buddy, who is basically like a badass Buddy Holly impersonator, wannabe, whatever you want to call it. Unless he's actually supposed to be Buddy Holly, but I did not get that impression. The film in general follows Buddy and this annoying ass kid he can't seem to get rid of as he journeys to Lost Vegas and interacts with the various types of people left in the wastelands. This is going to be one of those rare instances where I'm probably not going to have different chapters. It's just going to be like one big discussion point, because the whole movie, man, the whole movie, the story is so good. Where do I even get started? I need to slow it down, kind of like break my ideas up into separate categories, but again, it's probably still gonna be one whole chapter. But let's start, step by step. First of all, the concept. The concept of this movie is incredible. As my title probably suggests, it is a rockabilly wasteland. That is how I see fit to describe it, because it takes a lot of elements of like the 1950s rock and roller with the I don't know what to call these shoes. The shoes are on the screen.
Nice shoes.
I don't know what to call them or what the style is. Some of it reminds me of rockabilly, some of it reminds me of ska. I know both of those are a little bit more leaned into like the alternative aspects of it, but that's what I know to call it, okay? Man, oh god, the concept's so cool. And the fact that it's very music based, because it's like a Mad Max wasteland, but everyone's fighting for like the throne of top rock and roll artist. I don't know. I guess imagine Fury Road if it was just the guitar guy. I feel like I've probably said it for a few other movies, but this movie it feels like a painting. It feels like watching a living painting. And it's a very like subtly surrealist painting as well. There are just like such little odd moments of creativity while also tackling this like type of genre that's usually very serious and stone cold. You know what I mean? I guess, would you say it's campy? I guess it would be campy, right? And listen, the opening scene especially does such a great job at setting the tone. And I think the opening shot especially, not just like the opening action shot, but the preface that we get so we can have an idea of the context that we're about to get into. It's just such a good setup, man. It's a really good setup, and it really helps to set the tone of the piece. It is a desolate nuclear wasteland focused on kicking ass with katanas and rock and roll music. And again, this focus on the like 50s rock and roll music, which actually kind of turns into this narrative rock and roll versus heavy metal trying to claim the throne of the king. It adds to the charm of it. I mean, how many people would really think, I guess Fallout exists, right? I was gonna say how many people would think about like 50s nuclear wasteland, but I guess it has been done many times, so never mind. But I don't care. I like the way that Six String Samurai, which I might just call Triple S from here on out to simplify it. I really like the way Triple S executes it. Like, I don't know, it's fun. And I like the focus on like Elvis Presley and Buddy Holly. And I think those are the only rockers that they make reference to. If there is actually someone that I'm forgetting or didn't notice, please let me know in the comments. I don't want to miss things. If I miss something, please let me know. But anyway, yes, the concept is really great, but the execution, what they end up actually doing with the story, how they decide to develop the story, and what they choose to focus on, I really like the decisions that they have made for this movie. So yes, the general focus is getting to Lost Vegas and becoming the new king, the new like ruler of this haven within the wasteland, or supposed haven. But the movie it's not really about becoming the king. It's more about the adventure or the journey of trying to get to Las Vegas. It's way more about the journey, the hero's journey. Ooh. And I'm gonna be honest, I think the fact that they decided to focus more on the adventure or the journey rather than like this fight or competition to become the king, I feel like that ends up working so well for this movie, because I don't think it's necessarily about being the king. It's about the action. I mean, it's called Six String Samurai. The guy is supposed to be kicking ass. It is more focused on the action. You're gonna get a lot more action from the journey of obstacles in your way than you are like just trying to gain a title. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because it is set up to focus on the journey or the adventure, we get to see like a whole band of different characters within the wastelands, and also see how our main characters interact with these individuals, which if you are not a stranger to this channel, you know I love that kind of shit. I love seeing the interactions between like two characters, especially if one character is consistently meeting different like strange ones. And man, the variety of characters within SSS. Mwah, mwah. Now, if they had made the decision to make this more focused about the king, I'm not sure how well I would have liked the story. Like, if it was more focused on becoming the king rather than the journey, I wonder if I would have felt the same way about this. And I thought about it for a while, and I don't think I would have liked the movie as much if it was focused on competing to become the king. And here's why. The film does such a great job of creating this very immersive wasteland world. I mean, there are a lot of details that are involved in creating the world that we travel throughout. And all of it is really unique and really cool and creative. You know, all of the same adjectives I've been repeating so far for this. And it's possible, you know, not everyone's gonna feel the same way as me. Maybe some people would have preferred to see him become the king. But because I love seeing like world building stuff, immersive worlds, detailed worlds, even if it only lasts for an hour and a half, I don't care. I love that so much care and thought was put into that. And as I've already mentioned, there are elements of it that really remind me of Fallout. Now, I'm not super familiar with the Fallout series, so I haven't played the first or second one. I think I played the fourth one and a little bit of the New Vegas. So I'm mentioning this because I would love to hear other people's thoughts and opinions who have seen SSS, which, by the way, if you haven't, maybe this is your sign to go watch it, especially if you like Fallout. I'm curious about like possible inspirations these two movies might have had on one another. I don't know. See, like, I don't know what I'm talking about, but here are my thoughts. So I think the first Fallout game came out in, I want to say 96, 97, but I know for a fact the second one came out in 98 because I made a note that it's the same year this came out. Now, I don't know how long Fallout has been, you know, following the 1950s nuclear family, nuclear war motifs, if it's been throughout the entire franchise or not. But I would be curious to see, like, do you think Fallout at all might have influenced some elements of this movie? Do you think in the future some elements of this movie might have inspired some elements of later Fallout games? Again, I'm talking out of my ass right now, but I just want to open that up for discussion and get other people's thoughts, because it's kind of something that came through my mind while watching it. And again, there might not be any linkage to them at all, but I don't know, food for thought. But anyway, with that aside, I was talking about the immersiveness, how much I love that the adventure makes it immersive. Like, yeah, you can say the setting, the art direction, all of that really makes it immersive, but I think the element that makes it the most immersive are the characters, are the other people that we meet along the journey. And there is a variety of really, really cool wasteland folk, individual civilians, I don't know. And like, the wasteland is so full of life. There is so much life within the wasteland, and how many different groups of people that we come across on this journey. And of course, I do have a few favorites. I do have some that I would love to have much lengthier discussions and theories about. Windmill people, is that what they were called? The windmill people? I would love to have a full-fledged discussion about some theories about them. I don't have the time for this video, but I do have a few favorites. I did really like that rockabilly or ska. I feel like they're ska. I'm not a ska professional or anything, but I got more ska vibes from their music and look than I did rockabilly. I liked that band. Of course, I love the Cannibal nuclear family. A 1950s nuclear family of cannibals. They were a lot of fun to interact with. Loved them.
Why, the wind shear alone on a pink golf ball can take the head clean off a 90-pound midget at over 300 yards.
Oh my god, I also loved seeing the Soviets in the wasteland because it's narrative accurate. Like I said in the synopsis, the whole setup for America becoming a wasteland is that there was a nuclear war between Russia and America, and Russia won. So of course there are Soviets within the American wastelands. And I love that we actually get to see them, man. It's not just like this narrative point, oh, the Soviets won. We get to see Soviets in an American wasteland. Love it. Maybe one of my favorites of all, and they play such a small role, but I do really love them, are the bowlers. I mean, they are just in like a quick little scene right in the very beginning, but I loved them. When I saw them come on screen for the first time, I had this feeling that I knew this movie was made for me. They specifically made this movie for me. I'm sorry, everyone else. Like, it's so campy, but it's also so 50s. This gang of bowlers within the wasteland, and I think they're all Latin as well. They're so suited for the tone and the theme, and they're just like a quick little creative idea that it's fun. I think it's very fun that they were included. And I love their gang name also.
Nobody messes with the pen pals and gets away with it. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody!
This movie is so corny, yet at the same time, it is so cool and so smooth. This is one of the coolest, smoothest movies I've ever seen. Like, Joe cool, bitch. But no one is cooler or smoother than our hero, Buddy. Holy cow. I would beg to argue that Buddy is the coolest and smoothest hero or character in all fictional history.
Do you know who I am? No.
I'm gonna put money on it. I mean, he is just your average, cliche, nonchalant, action badass with witty remarks, chill demeanor. Nothing rattles him, nothing can stop him. He is so cool, man. I mean, like, you almost want to hate him because he is that, like, cliche, overpowered hero that is unstoppable. You almost want to hate him. But he is so charismatic. He's so magnetizing. And he's just, again, he's that nonchalant cool. And you can't help but love him. You can't not love Buddy, dude.
Who are you?
Death.
Cool.
And this is going to be probably an odd comment, but I don't care. I need to get it off my chest. Buddy reminds me of like a character that Neil Cicierega would write and play. Do you guys know who I'm talking about? Neil Cicierega? Neil Cicierega, the guy who did Potter Puppet Pals? He was the very first YouTuber I ever saw. Big fan. And when I watch Six String Samurai and I see Buddy acting, all I can see is Neil Cicierega.
Come on, guys. Bowling night isn't till Tuesday.
Buddy is a Neil Cicierega character. I mean, like, obviously, the YouTube came way late. Obviously, like, not literally. But I'm saying that's what he reminds me of every time that I've watched this so far. I mean, surely, I am willing to put money on it. That triple S, it's gotta be in Neil Cicierega's top 10 favorite films, because there's no way that man was not inspired by this movie, because Buddy is such a Neil Cicierega character, dude. Come on. But yeah, again, that might be just like an odd off their comment, but I was going to lose my mind if I didn't mention it. Buddy is just, he's such a cool hero. You know who's not cool though? It's that little fuck ass kid.
The boy makes him very uncool.
I don't know who I hate more. I don't know if I hate this kid more or the fucking one from Road Warrior. Oh my God. I am sick of children being in the wasteland. And all he does for the majority of the film, that's all he does. And then suddenly, like somewhere halfway through the movie, he can talk words.
A 56 Chevy Bel Air can kick a 47 Buick Roadmaster's ass any day. At least in the first quarter mile, that is.
You come all this way without saying squat? And now you're trying to tell me a 56 Chevy can beat a 47 Buick in a dead quarter mile?
He can just magically talk words all of a sudden. But does that stop him from going, "Ugh"? No, it doesn't. Why would it? Oh my God, this kid just, it gave me flashbacks of watching Road Warrior. All he does is scream. All he does is scream and get in the fucking way and be annoying. And oh my God. But as much as I hate him, I also would not like to see him removed because unfortunately, he does serve a purpose to the narrative and the plot. Unfortunately, he should be there. I wish that he would scream a little bit less though, because constantly hearing him go, oh my God, I hate that kid so much. Unfortunately, he has to be here. Unfortunately, he has to be present. We're stuck. We're as stuck with him as Buddy is, basically. And just finally, in this little review, I want to note one last thing that I love a whole lot and want to discuss about this movie, and that's just the attention to detail, man. I feel the same way about Triple S as I have for Sean Tretta's movies that I've reviewed on this channel so far, like Bloodletting and The Great American Snuff Film. That's what it was. Now, the budget for this was $2 million, and to me, that's a huge budget. But I guess when it comes to like the movie making world, $2 million is considered a low budget. So I feel like I can say it's a low budget movie. And it reminded me a lot of watching Sean Tretta's work, where you can tell that it is this low budget piece, but there's so much attention to like details and cinematography, angles, scene composition. I mean, there's a lot of details throughout that I just really appreciate, and of course I always love to see. I love the little details being included. Well, not even just included, but like even thought of. The fact that it's so thoughtful. One of the like bigger little details that I noticed throughout, which of course as I continue watching it I'll probably notice more and more, but one of the ones that I liked a lot was how Buddy's glasses were always kind of messed up. Now there are moments where you do see his eyes, but it's not like super often because of how messed up, like scratched, cracked, and foggy his glasses are. But I really like this detail because again, it feels intentional. It feels intentional, the fact that you can hardly ever see his eyes. It almost adds to his cool mystique. There are a lot of shots where you could hardly see his eyes while he's saying something like cool or badass. It does just feel like reading a comic book, and I think the glasses being a little bit obscuring of his eyes at times adds to the comic book mystique hero, if you catch my drift. And there are other like little details here and there, but I want to quickly go over my favorite one, my all-time just favorite detail that this movie decides to do, because oh my God, it's one of my favorite details in a apocalyptic wasteland end of the world movie anyway. But the way it's done in Triple S is different, and it is the use of radio. I love the use of radio within any kind of apocalyptic end of the world narrative scenario. I don't know if I included that in my review of Night of the Comet, but if I did not, I'm including it now. I love it when the radio is used in apocalyptic scenarios. But SSS does it a little bit differently, you see, because we constantly hear the radio throughout, specifically a radio broadcast, somebody named The Wolf, broadcasting from Las Vegas through the radio channels, sometimes playing 50s music. And the radio is heard throughout the entire movie, but it never sounds like it's a nearby radio. It never sounds very upfront and close. It echoes.
Here we go, you're on the air with the werewolf atomic explosion. Have mercy, baby. Who will be the next king of rock and roll?
Instead of being played from some nearby source, the radio constantly sounds like it is being played in the distance, loud as possible, because it's echoing through the air. It's almost as if the radio broadcasts are coming directly out of Las Vegas into the air, being like played as loud as possible so it echoes. And the radio in SSS, it acts like a beacon. This is the beacon. It's the beacon to Las Vegas so that people can come be the new king. Man, I love that. I love that it is just played loudly through the air, and it's almost representative of, again, a beacon signaling people to come to Las Vegas, the supposed wasteland haven, and also calling for the new king. I love that. I love that. I don't know how intentional that was. It feels pretty damn intentional to me. That's my favorite detail. I love that the radio echoes through the air like it's being played from speakers from Las Vegas. Overall, I am just so glad that I got recommended this movie. Thank you so much again to Nihilistic Whim for recommending it. I mean, I know it's not what we usually cover on the channel, as I usually cover horror, but this is a fantastic film. This is such a fantastic little cult classic, dare I say masterpiece. Now, my one and only complaint about it is probably the ending. It's fine, I guess. I understand kind of why it ends the way that it does. Is it cute? Yeah. Does it kind of make sense? Sure. Did I find it satisfying? No. But whatever. The ending, I don't think ruins it for me. The piece as a whole is just so good, so satisfying, and man, I can't get over this movie. I can't get it out of my head. Like, this has been one of the best movies I have ever seen, ever. It's so fun, it's so cute and creative, and again, maybe I could be a little bit biased because one of my favorite types of narratives are wastelands. When it comes to stuff like this, especially the wasteland, a wasteland, oh God, I love a wasteland. I love a good wasteland. And all of the fun, creative elements that this movie throws together, it just, man. Yeah, I think it's a masterpiece. This is a little cult classic masterpiece. And so what shall I be rating? Six sword? So what shall I be rating Six String Samurai? This is gonna be a first for me. Typically I sit on films for a while. Like, I'll put them into A and I'll sit them on them for a while because maybe I'll be really excited, but that excitement wears down after a while. I think this is going to be the first time I'm giving a movie the S tier without sitting on it first. And here is what really made that decision for me. When I finished watching this movie, the first time around, when I finished watching this movie, one of my first thoughts was, if I have a child, my child is going to grow up knowing what this movie is. This is going to be one of the core films that my child watches growing up. That solidified the fact that this is totally deserving of an S tier. I don't think I need to sit on it. I think that says enough. Is that not some of the highest praise a movie can get, that my child is going to know this movie exists as they grow up? Because Unless there's something that I'm just not thinking of, there's nothing really in this that I think is not child friendly. In fact, I feel like children would love this movie. And with that, we are done with yet another movie review. Thank you guys so much for sticking all the way until the very end, and thank you for those who are sticking with this video even though it's not typically what I would do. Why does the music still sound loud as fuck? I hope it's not on the actual video. Like I said, this wasn't typically what I do, but I don't think it's a bad thing to branch out into like a little bit of different genres, and I still think this film was perfect with the tone of the rest of the channel. And if you follow my advice, continue to follow it here. Six String Samurai is one of the coolest films I have ever seen, like ever. But anyway, again, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. If you liked it, be sure to stab that like button. It is a free and easy way to help support this channel. Also, if you just like this video so much that you want to hear me ramble about more obscure cinema, I guess maybe sometimes cult cinema, niche, horror movies, B-movies, disturbing cinema, which is kind of coming up big this summer, wink wink, doing a whole lot of disturbing cinema this summer, then please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you can be notified every time I make a new upload, which I do upload a new movie review every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, this one was a viewer recommendation. If you also have a recommendation for me, please leave it in the comments. I love receiving them, and maybe you will see it appear on the channel in the future. Thank you so much to anyone who considers doing any of this. It is very much appreciated. I've not gone live in a while, but I'm still gonna plug it. On the screen are my Twitch and my YouTube live accounts. The days vary just depending on my work schedule, but if I do go live, it'll typically be around 6 or 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want updates on when I might be going live or any other like video updates, consider following my social medias that are on the screen. And again, just thank you so much if you stayed all the way until the end of the video. Our time here is precious, and the fact that you have used your time to sit here and listen to me sing all these praises to this like weird musical Rockabilly Wasteland movie that's not exactly horror, not typical for a channel, but still fun. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate that you took your time out of your day to watch this video. I appreciate it a whole lot. Thank you so much for being here. If I do not catch you in a live stream, then I will catch you guys in next week's video. But until then, have a good night and stay safe out there.